This video was never supposed to exist, but it's very important that it does. One of my last videos on the channel was about my 2 years review with Fujifilm, and many of you replied sharing their own experiences with that camera, and I really appreciate the exchange. Not because we are talking about a gear, but because we are actually talking about how we feel when we photograph with that particular gear, or in general when we photograph. Since December, I've been going through kind of a photography hiatus. Part of it was external, like the horrible weather in UK, some health issues, and general fatigue. But I don't know, part of it was harder to name. Going out to shoot felt very heavy. Whatever I did, I didn't feel it right. I found myself reaching more for the Ricoh GR4 because of its portability. It was the easiest camera to carry with me. I think it was the camera that asked the least from me. And even if I have the camera with me, I often didn't use it. Meanwhile, I also bring a film camera with me that I never take out of my bag, but this is another story. And I don't know, this dichotomy of feelings, like I want to shoot, but seems I'm not able to shoot anymore, stay with me for many weeks. At some point I realized that the issue wasn't inspiration, it wasn't creativity, it wasn't even motivation. It was something, I think, much more deeper in me. I think right now I can say that it was kind of a fracture between presence and safety. Let me explain better. When I photograph for myself, I don't look for productivity. I'm not looking for the output. This is something that I'm looking when I'm working for it because it's demanding, it's requested. What I'm really looking when I'm doing street photography, travel photography, or photography in general, just for me, is presence. I would describe it as a sense of freedom, being fully there and without any noise, without pleasing a client or doing something for a bigger purpose. I'm there just for me. But at the same time, I need safety. It's something that I already talked about in my videos before and also in the video about the Fujifilm. I need to trust the tools that I'm using, that are in my hands. I need to be sure that they're gonna deliver what I envision with my eyes. I need to know that they will be able to translate what I'm seeing with my eyes. I don't want the camera to get in the way to do something that it doesn't match what I'm seeing. While the weeks were passing, I kind of understand that this tension was kind of making me very confused about stuff. And for example, one of the main things that always happen in these cases is that I was looking for new gear. And because a new gear technically brings a new joy, new experimentation, new way of trying new things, but at the same time it brings kind of a hidden hopes that is like, oh, I will give you the freedom, but I will also give you like the reliability to have a good tool with you. But if a camera falls at either of these two desires, the entire experience breaks. So during the past months, I looked for so many cameras, so many brands, because I was still thinking, oh, maybe I should switch, maybe I should have something else, etc., etc. But was not just looking for something new. I think I was looking for something to repair what I was experiencing inside. And as I told you, every new tools, every new cameras is bringing you a new promise to be more present, less friction with the gear, etc. But let's face it, no camera is 100% perfect. So what I was asking to the Fujifilm in this case is to be an emotional tool. The photo that you seen alongside this video, they weren't meant to be shared at all. They were made only so I could go out and remember why I photograph. In general, like why I photograph for myself. And as you can see in these shots, there are very little amount of people in them. Wasn't a stylistic decision. This happened by instinct. This is because while everything is very noisy inside your head, you feel very overloaded by information and stuff. And cutting out the human presence from photograph is kind of one of the first things that happen. Because people introduce narrative, introduce some kind of responsibility and interpretation of a picture. There's normally more connection when we are looking at picture with people, if it's a portrait or even if it's just like a candid street photography picture. This kind of picture, they ask something about someone. In this moment where I was feeling very overwhelmed by everything, not only what was happening in my life, but also what is happening around the world, I think naturally my photographer, I stepped back and I could feel it that I didn't want to photograph any people around me. I just want to photograph the presence of people with objects. As you can see, I photograph objects of the human presence, empty street, like just, I think, traces that people were there and they give like some kind of presence. This exercise in the first place helped me to be present again with photography and pushed me also to go out and actually taking picture, because not taking action and just staying at home and thinking, oh, what shall I do, why I'm feeling this way, was not the right solution. So if you recognize yourself in anything that I've just said, I just would like to let you know that you are not alone, first of all. And also the desire to change gear is not the easiest solution, but I think you need to find a balance between what you want in your photography and in your photographer's journey. I think the main question that you need to ask to yourself is like, what I want to be when I'm out and photograph. I wanted to feel free or I wanted to feel safe. The problem doesn't arise from wanting both, but it arises when we expect an object to carry them at the same time. And what personally helped me was not to change completely my gear, but was to understand what I wanted. What was this inner turmoil I had? And in the moment that I understood what it was, I felt very released. So this video exists because I needed to stop pretending that photography is always cool and productive and resolved, that everything is amazing and great. Sometimes we need to step back, to slow down and to photograph without witnesses. And it's not to disappear, it's just to cure ourselves, our photographer's creativity vibe, let's say in this way. It's to return to the reason why we love photography. That is not about the gear, but it's about how we feel when we photograph. So if you are in a similar place, I hope this helps you and you feel less alone. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Ciao! Thank you.